What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we are looking at the newest English One Piece set, OP-09, which has just come out, and as of recording this, it's nearly been out for a week. We are going to look at where the prices are for this set, you know, looking at the sealed prices, looking at the singles, the manga rare prices. As you can see, I am on TCG Player, and we're going to just see if there's any sales data that we can go through and just look at these market prices for the cards and for the set. So I mean, straight away, just looking at this, like booster cases being at $1,300, nearly $1,400, and booster boxes looking at $63, but market price is showing $128. So I think let's just start there and see what that's about and see if there's any sales data. So the cheapest, okay, so yeah, as you can see here, there's a reason for that. The $63 is like some weird bundle mystery pack thing. It's not actually a booster box. We've got Japanese ones here as well. So the cheapest English one is actually $128, which is really strong. I haven't really been collecting and buying much One Piece recently, so I was kind of surprised to see, looking at this, I am surprised by how well it's done, because I know some of the other sets are way cheaper than this. So as you can see, the sales data, there is so many sales here. This is all just the day I'm looking, so the 19th of December, and there is multiple sales at that price. And if you go back, you know, it goes down slightly, but it's looking really strong. So this set is looking really strong in terms of the price of sealed, and obviously you can see the case price. It's also reflected in the case price, so you can ignore that 63. It may, you know, it's literally $128, $129. And same for cases. Let's just double check, you know, they have actually been selling. As you can see, I mean, again, all on the 19th, we're down to the 18th now, but you know, 1,400, 1,300, there's many sales confirming those prices. So that's really nice to see. It's really good to see that there's a strong demand, there's lots of sales volume, and people are really enjoying this new set. So that's always a great thing to see. And yes, this is the set. We got 4 manga rares. We also got the first English gold manga rare, the Gol D Roger. So we'll look at that shortly, because for some reason it doesn't show up on this list. At the moment, we just look at these. So $1,000 for the Luffy manga rare. So obviously having more manga rares means if you're after one in particular, it's going to be harder to pull it, because, you know, even if you get lucky enough to hit manga rare, you've only got a 1 in 4 chance of getting the one you want, right? So that can put more demand on certain manga rares, and I do think, you know, that is a very good price to see a new set come out. And we've got a manga rare, which isn't even the chase card of the set, because you've got the gold one, and it's at $1,000. I think that just shows how well the set's gone down, how strong the TCG is. So we've even got multiple sales. One at 1,300 on the 11th, and then sort of down to 1,000. So only 3 sales on TCG Play. I'm sure other places, eBay and private sales that have been happening, I'm sure there's been many more, but TCG Play is still good to look at for some sales information. So yeah, really good to see. But yeah, the set's fun, right? You got 4 manga rares, you got gold chance to hit a gold manga rare, and as we scroll down you'll see some more. So yeah, the next manga rare, you got Marshall D Teach at $645. So really strong price on that one. 600 on the Shanks, and then yeah, 400 on the Buggy. He is the least desirable of the 4 manga rares in this set. Let's just see if there have been sales happening. So again, yeah, we've got multiple sales on the Shanks, so that's really good to see. I'm sure we'll probably have multiple sales confirmed on the other ones as well. So I mean, loads on Marshall, right? So I guess potentially a playable card because of the amount of sales and because of the price. Generally, I wouldn't expect that character to be that price, so I'd imagine that is probably demand from playability. And then if we look at Buggy, see what sort of sales data we got. So yeah, again, a couple of sales. So yeah, Marshall has been having a lot of sales, right? So yeah, I'd imagine it's to do with some of the playability from the game. So really strong prices for some manga rares, considering there are 4 of them. Really strong prices if we compare this to some of the other sets that have come out in the past. We got some really nice SPs. We've also got some really nice looking wanted cards. Looking at around $100 US, yeah, anywhere between 75. Do we have another one? There's a much cheaper buggy one at 42, but yeah, some really nice cards. You got manga rares, really nice SPs, really nice wanted cards, some nice leaders. As always, it's looking to be a really popular set, and that is following up off of the best of set, which, you know, had so much in it, had all the manga rares before that, so much to pull. Because the risk of doing a reprint of a set, of many sets, and having that best of set where there's so much to hit, there's a risk of your next set is then not quite as fun to open, right? But they've managed to do it, right? They have managed to do it, because look at all of that. So if we look at something I just wanted to compare, was the prices of sealed from this OP-09 to the previous set, not the best of, but the previous main set being OP-08. And OP-08 is shocking in comparison, right? I was so surprised to see this, but correct me if I'm wrong down below in the comments. I'm pretty sure the US had a big restock of like 07 and 08 fairly recently. I think that's what's led to these prices, because cases and booster boxes at $35. Now this is just a fraction of the price. That being 100, and it's actually 128, right? Now obviously what you can pull inside is, you know, not as good, not as valuable. Of course, that's where a lot of that price comes from. But yeah, I think there'd been a big reprint. Even the cases are so much cheaper. But yeah, I mean, when you look at what you can get inside, you know, the most expensive card you can pull is worth anywhere between sort of $270 to $300 in comparison to OP-09. And you've got the gold card, which is several thousand, and then you've got all the other mangas. You know, it's still, it kind of makes sense, but if you just want some cheap fun and don't want to have to spend $130 on one box, like, you could just open even two of these for half the price nearly. So yeah, I thought that's really interesting just to compare. But yeah, I believe it is down to some of the recent reprints, and I think only the US really got those heavy reprints for these sets. But I thought that was a really interesting one, because it's just so different. Now looking at just all of the manga rares, just to see where prices have kind of ended up. Now obviously we had the best of with the reprint, and that then led to having two different versions of some manga rares, with the wording being different on the cards, but the artwork, just, you know, everything about the card exactly the same, but it is just like a second edition identified by the change in text. That's all it really is, and a little mark in the bottom corner. But if you're after that card, if you want that artwork and that card, like, it's exactly the same. If you're just trying to collect it and you want it to look the same, you want that texture, the shine, like, it's all the same. All of that is the same, right? You know, Manga Luffy from OP-05, honestly iconic in, you know, just the artwork and the card and the set. I feel like it's, I don't know, I feel like that was such a peak moment in terms of just how many people were just opening that set, and it was just such a good chase at the time, right? So $2,100 for the original, and then 1,000 on the reprints. Obviously the best of reprints are always going to be lower, but I thought it interesting to look at these prices, because just comparing the new prices that have come out essentially, right? So these manga rares here, like, you've got Luffy pretty much at 1,000. So in my opinion, like, I would prefer this artwork. It's more iconic for me, and it's just, I just prefer it as a design. I think if I could choose, I would pick this one up, even though it is, you know, the second edition, because of the slight text change, because it comes from the best of reprint set. Personally, I think I'd rather have that Luffy than the one from here. But yeah, just in terms of the prices, like, if you're just mindful of like the prices of these manga rares, and then just the list of all of the manga rares, I don't know why they're not showing up here, but they should be. Technically, I'm just ordering by price, right? So they should be in here, but most of those manga rares, you know, bar Buggy maybe, but like most of them are from OP-09 would be in this higher price, right? for being this higher sort of price. Because if you scroll down, obviously we got a lot cheaper manga rares, right? Cheapest being nearly $200 at this point. Whereas the ones that have just come out, naturally a new set comes out, generally prices are higher, at that beginning of the release, right, as where we are now. And prices over time come down because everyone wants the new set, everyone wants to collect new sets. Same with all trading card games. So it wouldn't be surprising. I'd expect to see, these manga rares come down in price once 1, 2 or 3 more sets have come out. But I wouldn't expect a huge drop off. I think the fact that we're seeing these prices and the prices of sealed, I think as a set is going to do really well, and it's probably going to stay fairly strong. But yeah, I just thought really to compare it to some of the other manga rares we've had, and just sort of just see where they sit, and especially that Luffy, it's pretty much exactly the same price at this point. Now obviously we are missing the big card, the Gol D Roger, the first English gold manga rare. TCG Player does not have any sales data of this card. There are quite a few listings here, right? Cheapest being $4,800, and then people can price it whatever they want, so it goes up from there. But there haven't been any sales on TCG Player as of yet. I've gone on eBay to check it out because I'm sure people have been buying this. Most of the sales of these cards, normally when you get cards at this price, most of these sales will happen privately through Discords, Facebook groups, through communities like that. They still will happen at times on these kind of websites, but a lot of them will be private. But if we go on eBay, we can find some sales, right? So I'm looking at sales data for the English copy. We had one on December the 13th in the US that ended up selling for $4,300. 58 bids, looks pretty legit to me. And then a few days later, we've got one that sold for $3.5, but there was only one bid, and it's a very sort of low feedback account in South America. I don't know if how legit this sale was. And again, there's been another one dropping again $1,000 to $2,500, again with one bid. I don't know, these, unless they had a really high starting bid, like it doesn't really make sense unless they just did like a one-day auction. I'm really not sure on these. This one just seems more legit because this is what I'd expect to see, like lots of bidding activity. It's just come out, it's the biggest chase card. So I've also looked at listings, right? So we've got listings. There is a PSA 10 already at $8,200 at the moment. It's got 5 days left with 36 bids by PSA themselves. Now, things can still get shielded. We'd have to wait until this ends to really see what it finishes on. Obviously, it is graded, so it has that standard first to market premium that's always going to be the case in card games. But yeah, if we look at raws as well, see, this is what I would expect to see. 46 bids, 3,500, 3 days left. Again, that kind of, to me, lines up with this listing here. You're going to want to see a lot of activity. Only one feedback from the seller, that's kind of, I don't know, a bit iffy, right? And then, yeah, we've got some other ones here. So again, 5 days left, it's at 2.5. But yeah, I think obviously TCG Player cheapest is listed as that. We've had these sales on eBay here. I think that 4,000, right? I think that's probably a lot more accurate. It's in line with TCG Player, obviously a little bit under, but there's been no sales on here. Otherwise, people probably would have just bought it on here. So yeah, either way, right? We're looking at several $1,000s for the chase card. And that is obviously going to contribute to how much people want to buy a case and open it, buy booster boxes and open it, because there is, although it's going to be a small chance, but there is a chance out of that box, out of that case, that you're going to come away with thousands and thousands of dollars that covers the cost of the sealed product. Having chase cards like that, alongside the manga rares, at the end of the day, you could just pull the Luffy manga rare, most of your money back, a couple of hundred for the rest of the case, but you're going to have all the other pulls in the case, the enjoyment of opening it and pulling something. Obviously, you might not hit a manga rare anyway, but I just think it just adds so much to the excitement. And, you know, I think these prices that we're seeing on the sealed products, that's reflective of what you can pull, or of the amount you can pull inside of the Gol D Roger that might potentially be in that box. So yeah, I think this set has come out and it is clearly doing really well. So that's really nice to see, because yeah, as I said, I haven't really been involved much with One Piece or collecting it much as of late, because Union Arena came out, so I've been buying some booster boxes and opening that a bit. And you know, there's only so many card games you can get involved with at the same time. So yeah, I mean, looking at this now, I've looked at it, I kind of want at least one box to open, because yeah, it looks obviously a really solid set, and it looks like it's going down really well in terms of the demand for the set. So yeah, that's the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.